Agency for Palestinian Refugees has warned that a severe funding shortfall could threaten vital services across the region. UNRWA Chief Philippe Lazzarini has told the UN General Assembly that the agency faces a $200 million gap between the end of 2025 and early 2026. He has stated that without new funding, healthcare and education for millions of Palestinian refugees could be disrupted. The UNRWA provides 40% of primary healthcare in Gaza and educates hundreds of thousands of children. Lazzarini also highlighted that recent accusations against UNRWA staff have led to some donor nations to pause funding. He has urged UN member states to provide support and not just renew the agency's mandate. Meanwhile, the International Court of Justice ruling is non-binding, and Lazzarini says it sets a legal reference for many countries to ensure that the UNRWA can operate. Listen in.
This morning I highlighted the fact that our shortfall between now and the end of the first quarter is $200 million. Previous year, when we reached December, we say, well, we just have to bridge December, and in January we will have the new contribution of the new year. But this contribution at the beginning of the year used to be the U.S. contribution that we don't have. So we will not have the big influx of money at the beginning of January 26.
Stay with us on the broadcast is Mr. Matty Zweig. Of course, Israel has raised its concerns with the UNRWA quite a number of times, especially since there were certain reports that had come out regarding some of its officials, in fact, being in a tacit understanding with Hamas and Hamas's operations on the ground. The fact that so many countries, so many erstwhile donors have pulled their money, which has resulted in a funding shortfall. What does this say about the reaction to the accusations that were made by Israel? Do you think other countries are now heeding the concerns that Israel has had regarding the UNRWA and its operations?
Well, unfortunately, they were supposed to give relief to the Palestinian population, but within the years, this organization has been degraded to a lot of corruption and a lot of ties even with the local terrorist organizations like Hamas. Israel said this a number of times. With the new administration of Trump, they also cut a lot of money so they can change their ways and clean themselves. Even countries like Switzerland and others also cut their ties with them because they say they are not really fulfilling their original purpose, who is to bring relief to refugees. And by the way, the word refugees has been overinflated here because the Palestinians are the only people in the world that after 5 or 6 generations, everybody continue to be labeled as refugees. So it can be understandable in Gaza Strip, but it's not understandable in other countries like in Jordan and Syria, even in the West Bank. So everything has been biased, and let's face the facts. I mean, they were really having a lot of corruption. They were also having these ties with terrorist organizations. So today they are in a state of deficit, in a state that they are in debts of about $200 million. When they have austerity means and cost control measures, they say in about $150 million. Anyway, something must be changed, but for good and in a big manner to gain the trustability from the Western countries and to receive back their money. And this raises another question, a big question. I mean, the U.S. was a big part of their budget, and now they decided what they decided because they see the way they are behaving. But let's think, why not the big people that is have criticizing these things like China or some other Arab countries that they have a lot of petrodollars money? Nobody is really giving them any aid. So let's raise these questions. Why they don't do it and they just criticize? So they can demonize the West, so they can demonize Israel, and In the meanwhile, the population, the innocents, are suffering from a lack of real help, medical help and others from this agency. So I hope some agreement is going to be soon so they can really give all the help the people is needed.
Indeed, so with that, I'd like to thank you for taking our time sharing your perspective with us on NewsX World. Meanwhile, viewers, we're shifting focus to more news coming in from the Middle East. We're now learning that the United Nations has condemned an attack on a mosque in the West